It's there. I can't. Hey boy! All right, we're live. Wait, I'll do the thing on the thing so we can repost it.
Sounds good. Hell yeah!
There we go, mate. We're on. How you doing?
I'm good, man. This is fantastic because this is one of the Saturday mornings here in Australia where I don't know how many heat checks in a row that I've gone where I've either A, been hungover, or B, about to go get drunk. Today,
this is a milestone. This is a milestone episode of Heat Check.
Hey, over the holidays and stuff, man, I've been having a little bit of how you goings, and now today I've got nothing on. The Dale's got a hens party.
So she's the one currently getting drunk at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Not as of yet, but she will be shortly. Yes.
Love it. Now we are live, of course, for Heat Check. Should we do we should do the professional thing where we do the introduction and say things, because this is Heat Check. We're going to get you sorted for the weekend. We have a whole bunch of live streams. We're going to go through all your lineups. We're going to put together a big, fat, juicy. We need a juicy parlay today. I think I need to top. I think you and I have had a run of
parlay.
Parlay, a multi
parlay.
It reminds me of the Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean, like a parlay.
Oh, yes, parlay. Yes. Yeah, so we don't say that over here. We say a multi. A fat multi. And
a fat multi.
And I'll tell you one more thing that I hate about America.
Is it the North Melbourne Kangaroos?
No, yeah, they're the bomb, man. Come on, settle down. No, why the hell do they do this plus minus bullshit when they do their bets? Why is it like, at plus 350? Because what, you have to put in $100 and that's how much you earn or something like. I don't really understand it, mate. How hard is it just to give the odds straight up? Like, hey, we say, hey, this multi is paying $67, which means if you put $1 on it, you win $67. Like, it's not that fucking hard, America, is it? Like, come on.
It could be quite difficult, but we're going to do all that and more. We're going to talk that we've got our lineup changes. We've got some ins, we've outs, we've got trade rumors, a buzz. We've been texting through the week, getting on it. Let's get down to it. Welcome to Heat Check Live.
Welcome to the ultimate super coach and fantasy sports show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
I'm trying to get all fancy for our live episode and retweet it at the same time, which is always a thing. Like we can go live. Biggest news happening around the NBA. You were messaging me earlier this week, Matty. What have I heard? Talk about some of the trade rumors that you're hearing right now.
Yeah.
Steve.
Well, I know I've heard a very, very. I don't know how credible the source is or anything like that, but there's actually been a fair amount of buzz that Miles Bridges is pretty much guaranteed to go to the Phoenix Suns. And then I messaged you about that because I was like, hey, Matty, have you heard about this? And then what was your reply to me, Matty G?
Well, it's kind of interesting. And this goes back to Miles Bridges in the offseason about what was happening with his off-court drama. So there was a rumor as well that he was going to become a Laker. So his contract has been restructured in a way where it's not guaranteed with Charlotte next year. They have to re-up it. And it's become more flexible. Like, it's a very, very flexible contract. Mm-hmm. And it's really good for trading. The thing is, what does Charlotte want to do? Now, I have the most craziest suggestion for you, by the way, on this one. Yeah. I thought about a really good one. I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast where they were talking about what should the Warriors do. And if Charlotte was to make a grandfather offer, and this is interesting, imagine a grandfather offer of LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and Steph Curry. Someone else makes their way to Charlotte, because Steph has been a Charlotte guy. Like, that's where he's from. That's where his father. Del Curry, if you watch a Charlotte's broadcast, I'm pretty sure Del Curry may own a couple of car franchises for Chevrolet over in Charlotte, because he is selling cars left, right, and center in ads over there for Charlotte. But there has been some buzz for a while that eventually, in this weird multiversal situation where the year that they took James Wiseman instead of LaMelo Ball, LaMelo Ball still ends up a Warrior. And Miles Bridges goes there. Now, Steph has even been quite open and saying that he would one day love to finish up his career, if not at the Golden State Warriors, with the Charlotte Hornets. So I'm not saying it's going to happen necessarily, but could you just imagine just a role reversal? Like, the Warriors where are they going, Skiddy? Tell me that. So this is one of the two things that I've heard.
Yeah. No, like, I don't know. To me, it's just if you're the Warriors, you can't trade Steph. Steph is Warriors. Like he
Can't
will
you?
go down as he'll go down as one of the best, if not the best Warrior of all time. And
100%.
I would love to see Steph do like, a Warriors from start to finish kind of career. Not like, how like Tony Parker, Spurs through and through. And then, at the end of his career, you see this little asterisk where he played for Charlotte and you're like, why? Like, whatever. I think Steph's that good that he can do like a Kobe, like, start to finish kind of run. I just think it'd be weird.
I don't dispute it. I don't dispute that. I want to say this. I do not think that he should ever go anywhere else. Like, let's be 100% clear. But do they blow it up? And what do they need to do?
Mate, they're not winning the title, are they?
They're not winning the title this year. This was a window year.
Yeah.
This was, what are you going to do? If you have a comment about if you would love to see that trade happen, throw it down below, because let's think about it. If he goes there and it just changes the future fate for the Golden State Warriors organization. And at a point, they've got to they've got one of like the greatest. He's not having a great season. He's been on buy low shows left, right, and center. But the other Miles Bridges one is that he would be acquired possibly. Now, we've heard the Phoenix Suns rumor, but there is talk that he could be acquired by the Los Angeles Lakers and moved. Because it's the whole fit of, I'm not going to argue that D'Angelo Russell isn't a great basketball player. Like, he's had his value this season, let's be fair. And he's been on a really nice run lately, especially with LeBron out. He's been flying. The guy's been flying. But there is talk that that Miles Bridges could come to either LA and stay, or in a bigger move, because he has a desirable contract to get another piece back. So he could be acquired in a 3-team or a 4-team trade and end up somewhere and routed somewhere else in a trade. Because do they need another guard? The other name that was really interesting around Charlotte that's kind of got some buzz down because he's been injured for a while is Gordon Hayward. And I think he is the most intriguing prospect. Not prospect because he's much older, but he's the most intriguing. He's a trade prospect. Like, I think he's one of the most. He's been playing really well this season. Let's and this is the thing. Guys fall off of our radar the further that they are out. The longer that Mark Williams is dead. So when apparently so, like Steve Clifford's report from him, because we're talking Charlotte. This is a Charlotte Hornets like a bit, because they're a really intriguing team because where do they sit? You know what I mean? And because LaMelo's been out so much, Mark Williams has been out so much. What's going to happen with Miles Bridges? They're a really intriguing team. Just to even talk about, Gordon Hayward's not even playing. Terry Rozier's just fucking left to the Miami. He's gone. He gone. So we've actually got some really interesting things happening around the Charlotte Hornets because they're going nowhere fast. What do they do? What do they retool on the side? So Gordon Hayward, I think, of all of these lineups, is probably hot. You know what? I'll put up there.
Okay, horsey.
I'm going to put this one here because it's true, and I shouldn't probably. I don't know if I should. I'm going to type these things because I haven't had my sip of my coffee yet.
No, I'm with you on that though, mate. Like, they do need to. Hornets need to do something, but they've got the paces to be able to move it around a little bit. They've had a little bit of lackluster kind of draft picks, with like Book Night and stuff like that. So it's interesting to me. I think, I don't know. And also, too, the one thing about the Bridges contract,
thanks, Matty. Welcome back.
Bridges, he has to sign off on the trade as well. It's pretty much like a no trade clause kind of thing. So whichever team they trade him to, he has to sign off on it and go, yes, I want to go there. And then, I agree with, like, Charlotte have to do something about it. I'm just not sure about the other teams. I agree that Hawks should move on from Murray or something like that. But, geez, I don't think Murray's the answer to the Lakers' problems because,
no. I think they're
handle it, do they?
That's a two-play. That's a two-play for the Lakers. I see them being incredibly good if they can move two things. Now, I would love to see Rui stay. I don't know why, but Rui was big for them last year. We also forget, and again, I go back to the point of the only team to have pushed the Denver Nuggets on the lowest differential points was the Los Angeles Lakers, the team that coalesced and came together after the trade deadline. I think the average points
Timberwolves as well.
I know they took one, but 6-point differential over the games. I know it was a sweep, but the average of points, I think it was like 6 or point something. It was like the lowest, and there were games that it was like 1 and 2 back. And then Jamal Murray and then Michael Porter Jr. took 3 threes in 30 seconds and just iced the game. But still, they came back. So I think it's a 2-move thing. The really interesting one for me is that they get Bruce Brown for the Lakers. That Bruce Brett, isn't he like a name that's just doing all the buzz? By the way, I'm in a room. I'm in a room that if I don't move, I might have to start make really big hand gestures.
Bloody
like this.
hell.
I'm literally, it's one of these energy savings. So if I don't do shit and I can't turn it off, I'm like, it's not one of these American clapper like.
You need one of them
stay in the
poles,
dark.
man. You need a pole where you can just be like, no, kind of thing.
What
And
if
then
it happens if I
get
throw
it going.
something? Let's find out if I throw something
Yeah, let's
against
find
the
out.
wall at the back of it, if it works. Wait a second. Nope,
Piece
still
of
living in the
shit.
dark ages. Fucking what a time!
That's all
What a. Here we go. So we've got thanks very much, Matt, on Miles Bridges. He's
Yeah, Matty, yeah,
good
good
friend, good man. Shaq 2K is back in the house as well.
Hey.
Jackie boy, what's the chance that he gets moved? Look, I think
I
right
reckon
now
it's
because
on.
of all the talk, I think it's definitely on. This is a great question from Matty. Who does it affect? Grayson Allen.
Bridges.
Yeah. So I think because it's been a Grayson Allen 6-man show for him, he's going to have to be directly impacted. I think everyone takes a hit a little bit there. I see everyone. I see it has to be a by committee thing. And if you look at it now, I think the only way we can see it, Matty, and this might be completely off base, and I'm just spitballing here because I've been thinking about it. Again, we were thinking about this and talking about this off for a little while. I see the Suns becoming the Clippers.
I could say that, yeah. Yep.
Because if you look at the Clippers, they're really, really good. And they're doing that good work as a gelled, coalesced together team. So for me, I see it very much becoming that way. You have your alphas, which is your Booker and your Durant, and you have your third stringer, which is definitely have to be Beal in a playmaking or facilitating role in that team. Like that's where I see it, in fact, like impacting him. So Beal takes a hit, and he becomes a really great other option. Zubac is their other starting lineup, but I just see him being another guy, and I don't think it's going to be turn taking time. It's not going to be a turn taking time where you get some. KD only has enough of that in my mind, and he is a great but his clutch numbers this year have been surprisingly down for Kevin Durant, which has probably been one of the
except for his last couple of games where he's been absolutely fucking outstanding, and he's just taken over games in the last quarter.
And this is a rejuvenated Kevin Durant in clutch because his numbers up until this week have been historically lower for Kevin Durant by all accounts, and just on a stats base, like his clutch points differential has been down. So I agree. Allen could take a hit, and I own him in most of my leagues. Look, you hold and you see, but he's going to definitely take a hit minutes wise.
Hang on, this is my thoughts on it with Shaq and Matty coming in with these questions about Bridges and if he goes to the Suns. So I don't think Bridges will stay a Hornet, but could shock. He has a great chemistry with LaMelo Ball, so there is a chance that LaMelo might be like, no, I want him to stay. We'll see. But let's say hypothetically he's gone to the Suns, right?
Yep.
I don't think there's no way that Kevin Durant is going to say, hey, stop giving me my shots so this woman basher can get the ball. No goddamn chance. KD is safe. Book is still the only playmaker there. Bridges cannot playmake anywhere close to the level of Booker. Booker's safe as well. I think Bill can drop a little bit for it. Here's my question, though, Matty. I'm not even sure Bridges starts. Why would they start him when they have the best percentage three-point shooter in the league, Grayson Allen, who is shooting almost 50% from three out there to space the floor with Beal, Booker, Durant, and Nurkic? Nurkic has already lost enough shots as it is, so that doesn't matter. I reckon Bridges would come off the bench if that does happen if he goes to Phoenix. And I think it's fine to have him coming as a 6-man role, but I think Grayson Allen's still safe. And I
have a habit of agreeing with you. I actually think that would be a really great shot because you can imagine him as a set. He would eat in a second unit. Correct. When he's come back from injuries, when he's eased back in, he has absolutely feasted as part of second units. So technically that would be really good. Matt, 100%. And that's why I think he would feast because the Suns bench is weak. Let's give Shemezi Metu all the shots in the fucking world. Let's get Drew Eubanks out there taking 13 a game.
Drew Eubanks has been playing super well as of late, though.
So much better. Thank you so much to Drew Eubanks for making me actually look like I know what I'm talking about. Because I was like, Drew Eubanks is the best backup center in the NBA. He's so good. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, and look, this is it. Dan Sicario's back in the chat. Look at you, Donnie.
man.
Charlotte already took a hit with bad PR. Might as well just keep him with LaMelo. Look,
Yep, good shout.
wrong.
Oh, really?
Let me play devil's advocate. How do you get good PR back?
Wait, what? Sorry?
How do you get good PR back? How do you curry some favor if you want to turn it around organizationally, especially as there's a new ownership group? And a lot of this was happening off the back because it was a fear of losing talent. They didn't have PJ Washington on. They'd already let Kelly Oubre go. Yeah. They needed to have people to put around LaMelo, but there is only so much you can take, Donnie. So I agree. Like, you might as well keep him, but why would you keep him? Well, one, if you want to win basketball games, they don't seem inclined to do so. Or two, to use as a trade ship and trade up. So this is where you do keep him, but then you can move him and be like, and then, conversationally, you can think a think piece comes out like in 3-6 months' time about the new look, Charlotte Hornets. And that's this little note in there, like a cheeky little note that, and after enough troubles with Miles Bridges, they wanted to go in a new direction and found this new team of whatever. It's just a question. We've got a trade question though here from our boy, Admiral Nita. Welcome back. Trade Austin Reeves for Draymond Green, anticipating the Lakers trade for DeJounte Murray. I'm
doing the exact same here, Jay. I looked at it before and I went, oh, geez. Oh, I don't know about that because hypothetically, let's say Reeves is part of that trade for DeJounte. Let's say that, right? And he's then the starting shooting guard in Atlanta next to Trae Young. I don't mind that. Like, I think Reeves will still be the second ball handler. He can play a bit more off ball. He's a better three-point shooter than Murray. I don't mind it. If I'd say in that instance, I'd probably keep Reeves. Draymond's still kind of, working back into it. Yes, he can. It just depends. If you're punting points, then Draymond's obviously a bit better because he does better defensive stats and rebounds and assists. But I don't think you can lose that either way. It's bloody close. So
I would be more inclined to keep Reeves. I think I'm just more inclined to keep Reeves because if Golden State does go south, I know that they are more inherently inclined to shut down a Draymond Green. Whereas if the Lakers go south, they're not going to be inclined to shut down Austin Reeves. That's kind of where I side with that, because what they'll generally tend to do is they will put they'll roll out Reeves there. And we've seen it with LeBron out in the past that Austin Reeves gets a bump. And I think if they don't make a major move, I think that's what we're more likely to see, Admiral. So I'd be keeping Austin Reeves in this situation, or getting Austin Reeves. If that's a trade that's sitting there right now, I'd be smashing accept and be taking Austin Reeves through with more of a knowing that he's incumbent on the Lakers side than the Warriors shutting down Draymond Green. That's just me. Our boy Joseph's back. Whew, how are we feeling about Keontae George?
Damn. Well, I mean, we got
I don't really see the Jazz thins out the guard lineup. I do. I see a potential. And a lot of the talk we are hearing is that they will thin the herd there, not with Chris Dunn, but more so with Jordan Clarkson. And I think that's the one we need to keep an eye on. Stash him in a 16-team 9-cat so far. Look, I think in a 16-team, Joseph, you might want to just keep your eyes on him. I don't think there's any way that we really. Oh, thank you for repost. I did see it in a second. He put it in there twice. Thank God. I love you, Joseph. I think I'd be in a 16-teamer. My question is to you, Joseph, is how many people are on your roster in that team, Joseph? I think that's the really interesting one there, because if you've got like a 10-man squad, you might want to look for a stream option if you're struggling. If it's a 12, 13-man team and you've only got 10 actives and you've got some bench spots, then I'm probably more just inclined to see Keontae George just to see him go, because I think, there's going to be, it's really hard to get a point guard capable of 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists a game, and a steal on decent percentages. He's shooting poorly. He isn't looking like a 12-team guy. Probably looking 14-teamish for sure, but definitely a 16-team stash, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And look, it's not like his minutes are like getting absolutely cut down or anything like that. He played 31 against the Wizards last game, and then he played 24 the game before, but that was a massive blowout. I know Colin Sexton's been balling, but when they want more offense, they go with Keontae over Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn's just in there for defense. So I still feel like we just have like the same, put it in the same spot as he was. We don't have to over panic or anything like that. Yes, it would be better if, Jazz were playing shitter and Colin Sexton was going to get rested and we can see the pathway to super minutes and super usage, but it's just how it is. But, Jay Weasel, let's get stuck into the games, mate. preview this? It's been 20 minutes. We haven't had a preview yet.
Because everyone's asking questions. I can't help it.
I rate it.
Look at this. Shaq's here. Some don't think. I haven't even pushed half the bloody buttons. Admiral's in here just trying to say thank you for the good trade advice. I can't.
Hey, I love it.
Give the people what they want, Skiddy.
Hey, Matty, I agree with that, but we've actually...
Then I pushed the bloody wrong way. It was the preview, isn't it?
He's heating up.
Gee Weasel, we're over the shop at the moment. God damn, too many of them. Right.
Right each other. They're right beside each other on this one. Hey, look, before we get down to this as well, and this is what we want to say, big shout out to our friends, the Standard Squeeze. We are repping them. 15% off. If you haven't used the Standard Squeeze before, make sure you get onto it for all of your travel cups, for your apparel, for your Australian summer. They've got great sleeveless cutoffs that I think Matty Malley should get onto actually on the Tuesday pod, because every time he wants to do one for me, he's never wearing sleeves. And I just like guns out, pot out. So I think that's the way to go. But get on Standard Squeeze, drink from them, enjoy them, love them. Wife got a pink one for the Christmas present. Your Dal, she needs a pink one. Look at this. Thanks for the Q&A, guys. Mate, we love it, and we'll come and don't stop putting questions in the chat as well. Just because we have to, I'm not saying legally, but obligationally. We have to do the preview because we talk about it, Matty. So we do say we're going to do it. Skiddy, I know that you've got the lineup, so there. Take us through the first. Let's get to the business.
Yeah, bloody oath, mate. We got the Dallas Mavericks at the Atlanta Hawks. Dallas have Kyrie Irving out, Kleber and Powell out. They are also -1 point favorites. Atlanta. So the line has come in from 3.5 to 1 this morning. So I believe that's indicating that Trae Young is going to be back today. He's still game time after the concussion symptoms, but it looks like he should be back. Capella's also game time. Hunter's obviously still out. Wesley Matthews is a game time, the same as Bruno Fernando. It's in Atlanta. So I don't really like any Atlanta players to pick up anymore. I mean, geez, I got a bit excited when Trae Young was out, and I was thinking about picking up Bala. Patty Mills, I got excited. Oh, you love to see it.
Oh, you love to see Patty get some run.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And he played well last game too, so
he did
rate that. But for the Dallas Mavericks, I think we keep rolling with Derek Jones Jr. if he's on your wire. Josh Green, he's been playing all right with Kyrie not there. So I don't mind that. Just quickly, back-to-back today. We've only got the Pacers back-to-back for today and tomorrow. We have the Hornets, Spurs, Mavs, Rockets, Pelicans, Clippers, and Bucks. So they're the players that we'll be targeting for the weekend back-to-back. Two games for one pickup. Smart plays. So Dallas we can focus in on.
Now, also another thing to keep at it with as well, and I'll just bring it back up because I made notes about this one with Mally. What we're looking for here is, because Saturday is such a big bumper slate, it's got 10 games. Friday is 8, Sunday is 5. There is a way you can stream a back-to-back off one ad. You can tinker with a Friday-Sunday ad, especially if your roster is full on a Saturday. Check your rosters, see if you have availability, and scream the Friday-Saturday back-to-back. Like Skiddy said, Charlotte, Dallas, Houston, the Clippers, Milwaukee, New Orleans, and San Antonio if you have roster space on the Saturday. But if you don't have that roster space, make the most of the Friday and the Sunday burn, because that's basically a glorified back-to-back if your roster's full on the Saturday. So here, you're looking at the Hawks, like Skiddy said, Indiana, Memphis, OKC, Orlando, Phoenix, the Trailblazers, or the Raps.
Yep. But I don't think there's any pickups for the Hawks, in fairness. Now that
Kongwu, Kongwu is probably the guy that I'd be leaning to there.
If people drop Bay after his 2 shit ones before the last game, he played well last game, but yeah, Bay would probably be another one. Yeah. So also too, in this game, G, I don't know. I don't like anyone head to head. I think this is a bit too tight for my liking. But I have, you know me, bit of a stats man, like to do a bit of research before I punt. Also, too, thank you, Bonus Bank, for being our sponsors. Get onto them before you punt, because they can give you some great offers and great deals. And
don't forget, we've got a thing for them. Let's play that one, because we are talking about those boys. Because we're talking Bonus Bank, 25% off your first month subscription for all their premium content. They teach you how to maximize your bets, like your bet with mates. Skiddy and I are in a prize pool, so we can activate that. We've both got to top it up with $5. Skiddy, you want to put it in there? I'll top up our $5 on here.
I will do, mate. No worries. So,
I really like Bogdan Bogdanovic for 4 or 6 assists today, because we all see if look, I think he's going to make it right, especially Trae Young. Trae gets limited minutes though, especially if it's a little bit of a blowout, and especially with the size of Luka versus Trae on that matchup and the interchangeability of Josh Green. I do see a bit more of the ball going through Bogdan Bogdanovic. So I would be kind of inclined to look for him for a decent look. I'm thinking 4 assists, 100% for Bogdan Bogdanovic. That's okay. I like that for him. Luka, though, you think he's going to just?
Sorry, you go. No, go.
Because I think it's going to be big. I think it's a tripped up.
Luka. Oh yeah, I can also say that. So quickly, Hawks have a 103.9 for pace, and Dallas have 102.9. So they are both up there in pace. So that means a bit more shots go around. So we have a potential for higher scores. G, in the last 2 weeks, right? The Hawks and the Mavericks. Hawks give up 124 points, and the Mavericks give up 126 in the last 2 weeks. So that's without Trae and without Kyrie for both teams, respectively. Yep. But their totals have been 104 for the Hawks and 109 for the Mavericks. So I am iffy on this because the line is at 243, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does their shit shooting outweigh how shit both of their defenses have been? I'm torn here, but I think Luka will also go big, to answer your question. But my best bet, Clint Capella, 10 rebounds, because the Dallas Mavericks give up the second most amount of rebounds per game. So I'm hammering Clint Capella, 10 rebounds, 164. That's me for that game. I got nothing else really.
Let's go that one. Let's go Bogdan Bogdanovic, 4 assists, and Capella 10 plus rebounds. Perfect. Love it. Let's get on to our next one of the day. It's Houston and Charlotte. Look, Jabari Smith Jr. is questionable. He's been moved up from doubtful, so he's looking to come back in for this one. It's the guard show. Fred VanVleet versus LaMelo Ball. Fred VanVleet's been balling as of late. So is Şengün. Look, this is an interesting lineup. This is, I think, one of Charlotte's better lineups. When Mark Williams comes back in and takes Nick Richards' space, which could be in the next season, for the love of God.
He's dead.
Kyle Lowry is out injured or re-diverting with the trade. Like, we don't know what's going on there. That's just ridiculous. I think Charlotte's best lineup is LaMelo, probably Brandon Miller in the shooting guard spot. You've got Gordon Hayward in the power forward spot and Mark Williams in the center spot. That's a really nice lineup for Charlotte. They just don't have that available to them right now, which is a damn crying shame. I think Houston gets the win. I think they're just big. I think they're agile, and I think they're on the way back up for me. I'm liking Houston here head to head, but again, it's one of those games I don't want to touch much, apart from maybe Fred VanVleet for like 8 assists, because he has been distributing the ball a lot in this offense. The over unders at 225. I think they'll get that for sure, because look, Charlotte is not very good defensively. Cam Whitmore and Amen Thompson has been an interesting little bit of a stream, especially with Tara Easton still out for another week as well. So I think we can look to stream in anyone from the Houston Rockets, knowing that Cam Whitmore and Amen Thompson, who I know that you're a big fan of, Skiddy, are starting to get some more burn in this lineup.
Yep, I agree. I sort of just don't think they're fantasy relevant right now. We need for Houston, they really need Jalen Green to step it the fuck up, because he's been shithouse this season. My question to you in this game though is, Matty G, and this is the only piece of besides my normal statistics that I write down for each individual team, the only other note I've made on this game: who the fuck is stopping Şengün this game?
No one. No one.
They ain't stopping him. This is Şengün. This is a Şengün game. This could be. He could go big here.
It is a Şengün season game, 100%. And I'm just thinking as I look down at it as well, like he could go really big today. So I think we've got a decent one for Şengün. I am a little bit hesitant just to go, because if they do get a blowout, they'll probably rest him down the way, especially because Charlotte's had so many blowouts along the way. So I'm probably not keen to go on too hard on Shenny, but I do think he's going to have a very good game from a fantasy profile-wise. Maybe we put on there some rebounds or assists to turn it up. Phoenix and Indiana today. We've already spoken a little bit about Phoenix and their shakeup. Eric Gordon is questionable for this one. Drew Eubanks is a great look as a backup center right now. He has been rolling as of late, like you said. He's kind of going under the radar a little bit, Skiddy.
Yeah, he is, but he's solid as they come. If Nurkic ever goes out, he's an immediate pickup. It's like the Who was it a couple of years back? Oh, every single time John Morant was there, you pick up Tyus Jones immediately. It's the exact same with Drew Eubanks. He just gets you so much, and he does so much for those Phoenix Suns. The good thing is you can still pick him up as well when he's on the when he still comes off the bench, because there are matchups where he will take some minutes from Nurk and give it to him. So I don't mind it. So we've got Halliburton is out for Indiana. Last time these two played was, I think, last week or something like that.
Yep.
And Suns won 117 to 110. Kevin Durant went for 40 and 9. So we could be seeing another KD game here.
And I think we're seeing Nembhard as well. So Nembhard and TJ McConnell are always the biggest beneficiaries. TJ and Nembhard are the two biggest beneficiaries whenever Hallie is out. So obviously we're going to look for that one to try and get some value there for us.
Yep, I agree there. Toppin's been playing a little bit better as well off of the bench as of late, but Matty Carmody says, who do you like better in a points league, Nembhard or McConnell? I'll take Nembhard. He gets more minutes. McConnell's more assists, steals, and field goal percentage from a category point of view, so I'll take him for categories. But points, I'd take Nembhard. I feel like he can score more than TJ can at those certain times. But yeah, I think I'm taking Phoenix here, even though it's in Indiana and Indiana have killed it. The one other thing I do like as well, so it's a back-to-back for Indy. So again, that's why I like it. But the other thing I do like, Matty, is we have the total points currently set at 243, which I think is way too high for this game.
Yeah,
they're just coming off 127. So I am taking Phoenix here. I'm taking the under here. And I mean, look, if you want to be a bit more spicy and you're just going for, that extra bonus bet in it, I'll take KD overs. I'm pretty sure he's sitting, I think it's pretty high, but actually, no, sorry, I'll go Booker on assists.
Look, I definitely would roll with that as well. And I'm thinking, I'm having a little bit of a look around. I think there is some, I think there is some good value there for that one. Let's smash that one into it, Skiddy. Add those two. I'm going to back you on that 100%. We've got the Clippers. We got the Clippers and Toronto today. The biggest injury news is the left groin soreness, not the right groin. It's the left groin soreness for Paul George. And we all know that the right groin is always a better groin to have when it's the right one. So obviously Norman Powell is going to get probably a bit of a boost on here. I'm not really looking to stream in much. This is always an offense by committee. It's just really interesting to see the Clippers and the Raptors went head to head pretty well the other week. That was a great game. That was really down. I'd like to see some more bounce back from Bruce Brown in this one, fitting into this lineup. They'll continue to cook. Schroeder is always a fun matchup in this one, to be fair. But look, they've been dependable as all hell, basically. The biggest news here is Emmanuel Quickly is also out, and Jakob Poeltl is out. He is nearing a return. He should be back for their last game at the end of the week for the Raptors. So on that 2-game stream, check out your thing for Poeltl. He is nearing a return, and Emmanuel Quickly is most likely back on Sunday as well for the final game of the week, which is a good burn for them. And it sucked to own Quickly in a league where I've needed him this week, and he has been out. That just sucks, but I'll get there. I'll get there in the end. Look, no big streams here apart from Norman Powell, I think, is the biggest booster today to get from the Clippers. And I'm just going to stay away from this game punting wise, mate.
Also, too, quickly out, Dennis Schroeder, if he's still on your wire, you pick him up.
You do pick him up.
The scrotum.
You pick up the Schroeder.
You grab the scrotum with both hands, and you pick him straight up into your team.
He is the right groin to be picking up, not the left groin, which can make you questionable. He is the right groin to be leaning on for today.
Hey, Matty, what's the right groin to get injured?
No groin is the right groin to be injured.
No, someone else's groin. That's the best groin to get injured. Dad jokes, baby. Let's go. I'm with you on this one. No bets for me on it. No. I mean, I'd say Clippers, but it's in Toronto, which kind of gets me a little bit worried. And seeing as it was such a high-scoring, close game last time, I just want to quickly check what the over/under is, because Raptors have been, so it's 235, which is just my note, all my notes are telling me to smash the under because.
Let's go under. Let's go under. Let's just do it. Yeah. We need a bit of luck. I'm gonna put in my $5 into the pot right now as we do this too.
But also too, so the Clippers have been put in the last 2 weeks. Clippers have been averaging 126 points for and 116 against. Yeah, and the Raptors have been normally averaging 103 in the last 2 weeks, but they've and then against they've been doing 116. Sorry, I couldn't read my notes for a second. So Clippers have been scoring shitload, like really, really high. Raptors have been allowing a lot of points in the last 3 weeks, but
I've just done it. I've topped it up. I'll put it in there. Throw it in.
I haven't.
I've just put in my 5. I'm back in you.
Haven't been scoring very highly. They've only been scoring 103 for the last 2 weeks. So I'll take the unders because I just think the Raptors have really slowed down their pace and the amount of points that they're putting up since the Pascal trade.
I would love to talk about this one for a second because we're going to smash those unders. Put that in there. I've thrown my $5 in the pool. Let's get to it. Luke Kennard. This is some interesting streaming options here for our Orlando Magic and Memphis Grizzlies game. This is where it gets a little bit juicy. Markelle Fultz is off the injury report and will start today, which is good to see for him. Let's see how he rides with this one. He has been up and down. He has been getting minutes. People picked him up and dropped him, picked him up and dropped him. This is the life of a Markelle Fultz owner. You cannot go with that gravity too much. He does fill it up across the way. The rebounding has been down for him lately, but the steals there and the blocks too, and the high field goal percentage for the last 3 games, we've liked to see from him. The assists aren't to the level that Markel's doing. Again, he's working back in. He hasn't
got room to improve,
he's top 30 minutes, then down to 22, then down to 29. But he's 49% owned in Yahoo leagues as only up 1%. So he's not even half owned yet. So have a look around and have a little bit of a pokey dig around on him. The other matching up that I'm really curious to see here, and who's I think has just been a really nice stream option, and this is chagrin is a thing that we talk about. Chagrin. This is not to the chagrin of one Mr. Matrix, because Luke Kennard is a wonderful trade option. I know he's owned in one league by Mickey Dell, who was on the pod earlier today. He's gone up 5% in the last day. He's 35% rostered. He was off the injury report. He was playing very, very well, attributing assists and rebounds across the way. I do like Luke Kennard as a cheeky steals option. He gets 1 or 2 occasionally. He's minimal on turnovers, high volume threes, high volume free throw percentage as well. But the assist from him as a distributor in the Memphis lineup has been excellent. And again, 35% rostered. So there is a higher chance that you'll be able to get him in your waiver wire than some other blokes who is hanging around right about now.
Yep, I can agree with that, Matty G. But I mean, look, when we talk, the Grizz, they have been, the last 2 games that they've played have been sensational because they weren't expected to come out and win, and they came out and bowled. What was it, the Raptors and who else did they roll? Raptors and Heat. That's right.
Heat.
And
Miami.
both of them were away games. But mate, when we talk Grizz at the moment, right? There's one name that we all need to make sure that is rostered, and that's fucking Vince Williams Jr. He is absolutely taking the piss right now. Do you know what he's ranked over the last 3 weeks for NBA fantasy basketball?
Wasn't it 30 something the last I saw?
Bloody close. He's 29th now.
29th
which is
now.
Outrageous. 15 points per game, almost 3 threes, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.7 steals. And his free throw percentages are nice. And he's shooting at 50% from the field. Turnovers are only at 2 as well because he's not a massive, high volume player. Mate, that's sensational. He is absolutely playing out of his mind right now. And the Grizzlies are just like, yeah, right, let's just keep rolling this, man.
He has been legitimately one of the bright spots of them this season. This has been a wonderful, wonderful addition for their squad. And he has gone up now. He is at the threshold. Your window on him has closed by all accounts and purposes. He's been, in the last week, I've got 36. Last 2 weeks, he's got as good as 18 over the last 2 weeks. So if you put his 2 weeks value back on, this is a guy who was a waiver wire target. He's been a must-add for a while. Absolutely. The minutes have been there. His plus-minus has been, the last 2 games has been ridiculous. But the points are there. But it's the across-the-board contributions that this guy is getting you. He has not had, I hate double negatives, he has not had a steal or a block in any of the last 8 or 10 games, I think. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for the last 9 games, this is his steal totals. 1 steal last game, then 3 stocks. 1 steal, 4 stocks. 3 stocks, 3 stocks, 1 steal, 3 steals, 2 blocks. So he has contributed in the last 10 games right across the board. And again, he has gone up. This is where it's getting crazy when you look for it. He's actually gone up another 7% in the last day, which means, as he should. But this has been a guy who's been on the waiver wire, even lingering. People thinking, who should I go him? Should I go him? Like, do I drop my worst guy for him? Of course you bloody do. Because he's, in the last 2 weeks, 25 player just sitting there. But this is a 10-team league now. So this has entered the threshold into being like, do I grab him in a 10-team league? And I think the answer is yes.
Mate, if he's top 29, right, it's a pretty no-brainer that you just go, yeah.
I think it's yes. It's hard yes.
Matty, you hold Vince. I mean, look, if you can swindle someone to be like, hey, look, this is the Grizzlies' best player, and you can snag yourself back like, top 50 or something like that. But let's remember, Jar's not coming back. Bain's not coming back for ages. Smart's still out for a long time. Like, mate, you can ride this out and you can have no dramas. But if you can sell him for, a real like top high player, then Matty, you can go for the sell. But mate, I just sit there.
I'd hold him. I'm going to ride him out. I'm going to ride him out for another week and a half. 100%. Look, let's ride him another week and a half. Look, I'm going to ride him out until like Bain and Smart are out for at least another, I think 12 to 15 games, basically.
Yeah.
So what you do is you have to. Bain's 15 games. Yeah, but he's already traveling through. So what we're looking at is we're looking through another like 3-4 weeks of NBA action coming back time for the playoffs, probably on a minutes restriction, ramp up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Bullshit, real life talk. But for fantasy purposes, okay, so how are you going to look over the next 2 weeks? Do you make a move on Vince Williams in the next week if you are going to trade him for a top quality player, knowing that Bain and Smart have got to come back into this spot and fit into this lineup? Now, there is every chance they shut them down at the end. We have to look for that information as well, because they could be like, look, rehab's not going well, not going to push the pace on it. We're going to shut down Desi. Marcus will play. Or vice versa, because it's just Marcus is older. So there's probably a chance of that one. But it is an option to look at. So
what I think about it is he can play alongside him. He plays a small forward. So it'll probably just be Smart, Bain, Vince Williams, Jaren Jackson, and Santi Aldama or Xavier Tillman. It'll be that lineup. I don't think Vince loses his minutes, and I think he can still keep being him. I just think that his usage will go down with Bain and Smart coming back. But either way, I'll keep holding there. But we've got another question from Donny Sicario. Tillman or Nick Richards? I've got Richards stashed in IL still. Jesus Christ, why can't I speak this morning? What are your thoughts on that one? Yeah,
I've got Richards. Look, Richards. I'd take Richards. Like, I just think with the consistency there that's been going on, Tillman's been like he's going to tank your free throw percentages. Nick Richards is playing today. I'd activate him if you got him on IL. Like Nick Richards for at least the next 15 games until we hear anything. 12 games, 15 game window for Mark Williams. It's Nick Richards for me. Because I know it's a starter. I know he's going to start. I know he's going to play. I know he's coming back. That's where I would activate him, and I'd drop Tillman in that situation.
I agree with that as well, because I think Santi Aldama may play today, and if it's not today, it's tomorrow, which hinders Tillman's minutes as well. So I'm backing you with that one as well, G Weasel. Let's move on to the next game. We have is it the Cavs? Yeah, it is. It's
the Cavs versus the Bucks.
In Milwaukee, Giannis looks like he's going to play again. Garland, Jerome Mobley, and Thompson are all out for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look, mate, this is pretty stock standard. Cavs and Bucks have played each other twice in the last 2 weeks. Cavs win the first by 40. Bucks come out and win the next by 10. What's the common factor there? Garland and Mobley out for both of them. And then in the first one, Giannis is out. Second one, Giannis is in. Bucks have a 50-point turnaround. Look, Giannis goes for 35, 18, and 10 last time he played the Cavs. Look, give me the Bucks here. Without Mobley, they don't have enough size to be able to stop Giannis. Jared Allen's, been playing absolutely out of his mind as of late. He's been fantastic, being a bit more of a facilitator. The Cavs defense look good, but when they've got someone like Giannis who's able to just bully his way through there, and now also without Tristan Thompson as the backup big, and they've got to go with Damian Jones. Yeah, no.
Talk about that. I do want to touch on this really quickly because we have no Doc tonight, but 2K already has him as the Bucks coach. Yeah, they did. I noticed that change up real quickly. I'm like, oh, look at this. Yeah. I saw that one. I've got this one with Luka frustrations, with hustle from some other starters. Can we expect a quicker ramp up for Exum in minutes and maybe back to the starting lineup? Yes, I'm going to say, let's just say Exum is as a starter on this squad because Jason Kidd did go out of his way to say that when Exum and Kyrie and Luka and everyone was healthy, he did go out of his way when Exum was on that run to say that Dante would be a starter in this team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coaches say a lot of shit. Be honest, that's their job. So, but can we see it come to fruition? And I do think so, because I think Dante had a really good role in this team. He does have size. He can. This is the great thing about Dante Exum. He's actually a really skilled defender, and he's very switchable.
Yep.
So he can mark this. He can mark up to the 4. So he can work around really well with Luka. He has great size as well. So yeah, I definitely do see that we get Exum back and playing minutes. I don't know about the ramp up. It would have to be dependent on the severity of the injuries, how he pulls up after game, what that rehabilitation and what that process is. And that's medical. That's not analyst. Like I can't say, Skiddy can't say, but we know that it's the agenda of Jason Kidd to have Exum in the starting lineup for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, and I think they need him as well. Like his switchability and his defensive pressure and his hustle is just way too valuable. Also, his 3-point shooting in there. He played 18 against the Suns. If that gets to 24 tonight, I could see that. But yeah, they desperately need some help for Luka. And goddamn, the Mavericks have one of the worst roster constructions ever. Like they're idiots, but whatever. I think.
Can I just ask one question? Because this is a Cavs question based on this one. You said it was because this does impact it.
Yes.
24-game suspension for Tristan Thompson.
Yes.
Coming down through the league seems incredibly swift, incredibly quick for something that include ibuprofen as well as Lingerol, basically performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
With anti-inflammation. This is an incredibly lengthy suspension from the NBA. This is like toting gun level suspension on Instagram for the second time after being. This seem odd to you? Yes or no? What's Cavs talking about this? Because this is the level of. Is this not greater than DeAndre Ayton's suspension of 20 games for a lesser used?
Yeah, but I don't. The thing is, I reckon there was already something going on because let's remember Tristan Thompson wasn't going to be in the NBA until the Cavs signed him, and I reckon there was a chance that he may have been taking it beforehand before he got signed because he was out for he played 3 games for the Lakers, and then he was out for ages, and then now he's got signed by the Cavs again. I reckon he might have been having it in that off time, trying to ramp his body back up to get NBA fit, and then this just kind of. And then they're still in the system, something like that. Because it is fairly odd that it's just come out of nowhere like that, and then he's popped it. But all I can say is I think he's more of it's more of like a locker room leader kind of thing where he's teaching the younger players how to get into it. He's more of an established vet. As long as he can keep doing that, it's all right. Damian Jones is going to fit in for it. Yes, Tristan had the muscle and the size to be able to combat some of the bigger guys, but at the end of the day, he was only getting, let's say 8 minutes
minimal
or something
minutes.
like that.
Yeah,
Jones can step in for that. He's not the same kind of hustle rebounder that Thompson is, but
it is what it is. A hot take: this defense for Cleveland has been nothing but impressive lately. Yeah. I'd like to put down in our parlay because we haven't touched that. I'd like to go Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard both for plus 25 today. I love when these guys go up against each other. I think it's a bit of a fire show. I think it's one of these ones which is just puts out a little bit of fun for both of them. And I like the points on these guys today. This being said, the Cavs defense has been impressive. You don't like it?
No. So last time they played, Lillard had 28, Mitchell had 23. I can see where you're coming from, but I think it's too close to the mark. I like to try and look at the anomalies, and the anomaly in this game is literally Giannis. It is Giannis. It has to be Giannis. He has to be the one to step up to bring the Bucks over the line in this matchup because the Cavs defense switchability has been so good. That's why Lillard has he struggled in game 1, flourished in game 2 because there was so much attention on Giannis.
Yep.
So Giannis has got to be the one to set that floor before Lillard could then eat, and then Lillard will then go on to that.
And I do think we'll see that.
Sam Merrill for threes, baby. That's where I'm going. That is.
All right, let's go Sam Merrill for threes. 3 threes?
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll go 3 threes for Sam Merrill, and then I'll go Giannis for 30 points and
throw it in
and 10 rebounds.
You've got it there. You throw it in. Go for it. You put it in. Put it in the thing. You're in charge. Remember, you're in charge. Add it to all the other things. Cuz is back. He's got thoughts on pods. Minutes are still high relatively, but in a 12-team points, it has been a rough ride. Yeah, Pods, congratulations. Welcome to the rookie vicious cycle, my friend. This is what it is when you're playing with rookies in your team and in your lineups. This is what you're going to have to experience. It is just par for the course, mate. I'm sorry to say. My thoughts on Pods is that he still has value on the Golden State Warriors, especially in a shutdown situation here or as they continue not to perform. So there is more of a potential for him to get increased minutes and for the rough ride to continue. But we all know that it's just seemingly collective that there's this NBA players meeting where everyone descends on a secret venue that nobody knows about. And they all sit down together and like, you can imagine like the Council of Kings or one of those things. And like, the Zeus chamber and like Thor, where like Zeus, there's probably LeBron and a couple of the other old heads are all sitting there in the middle, like just kick it back. And everyone's like, and someone makes a decision in this big council of NBA players, like, hey guys, can we get Pods some run? Everyone's like, looks around and votes on him. They're like, yeah, let's fucking let him go nuts after the trade deadline. Like, after the trade deadline, all bets collectively just seem off on selected players. Jabari Smith Jr. last year. You know what, guys? I'm just going to play better. Can everyone let me get 20 and 10? Can we vote? It just seems like there's this magic thing that happens towards the end of the season. They ramp up, they push for these spots, they get that energy towards the end. But it is the rookie roller coaster. So yes, it's been a rough ride, and that's what a roller coaster is. So my thoughts are you keep him in a points league. He does have the potential to fly. But because of how he's been, there is a chance that you'll be able to drop him, get in a hot streaming target, and then pick him back up as well. So there is that potential, cuz, for that in teams because he has been, again, like you said, a roller coaster ride. And people generally vomit after they don't enjoy the roller coaster, and then they get rid of that sick. And then other people pick it up, but they just pick it up.
I love how your mind works sometimes. Like that, you just took me on a journey on that. That was fantastic. So
it's
whatever.
Think about it. Like the guys,
he's
he's down 4% in the last day. He's down to 23% rostered in Yahoo leagues. He's played 27 minutes for the last 3 games he's played in 36. Now, the percentages are there. He's getting some rebounds. He's getting a couple of assists. He's not getting any of the peripheral stats that made him a really attractive option earlier on, but there's still minutes to be played, and there's still an opportunity for Pods. I just think when you're looking at in a points league, no, thanks, all good. I think when you're looking at a points league and you're getting 12 and 15 for your last 2, you can look elsewhere.
Yep. I 100% agree. And they're obviously, leaning more towards Clay and now Kuminga after his big games as well.
Huge game.
Steph's obviously not moving, but they shuffle their lineup around so much. Like it's just been an absolute shit show for the Warriors at the moment. And they've got, different answers they can go with Dre and Trace Jackson Davis and Kuminga.
100%.
As well, come back as well when they get Moody back. Like Saric, all these guys. So, it's a bit too much for me. But
if they shut it down and go nowhere, jump on your way. If you start to hear word of this one, Pods becomes the ad because right now with the Golden State Warriors at 19 and 23, they've lost their last one. Just above them is the Houston Rockets, who I do expect to push for a playoff spot. Currently, they're 4 games behind in the win column behind Utah and the Lakers. Now, I don't know what Utah is going to do, but they've been playing incredibly well. Like they've been playing really good basketball. They've lost the last 3 of the Dallas Mavericks. Is this the beginning of a slide? Well, sheep. He is the sheep. He is the sheep matrix.
Harrison Barnes is elite. That's all I have to say. What an absolute man.
Light the beam. Light the beam.
Bam. He's been killing it, hasn't he? Unbelievable.
Yeah, he has been.
He's the next big thing in fantasy basketball. I'm telling you, keep your eyes on this Harrison Barnes fellow. He is coming up in the fantasy landscape.
He's a warrior for life, isn't he? He's a warrior for life, Harrison Barnes. And even if we lose a championship, we're going to not blame him.
Exactly right.
We're not going to blame Harry Barnes, and we're not going to trade him immediately to a team in a local area near Oakland. We're not going to keep him close to us so he can taste what he has been missing out on. We're not going to do that to Harry.
Exactly right. What a man. Shit. If you want to have a gamble, why the fuck not, really? But no.
Upside potential. Woo!
No, I'm not having this Harrison Barnes bullshit. All right, let's move on to the Thunder and the Pelicans. All right, let's get stuck into that.
Fucking great game to watch. This is my must-watch game of the day. Zion is questionable.
Mine too. Love this.
Love this game, man. This is two young teams in the Western Conference battling it out. We were talking just a moment ago about their records. The Phoenix Suns have slipped a little bit. OKC now has, after Minnesota is again putting on another little run here. OKC sits second in the West on 31-13 with the New Orleans Pelicans at 26-18. And this comes back to talk about the Western Conference when we talked about the Warriors a second ago to help answer Cuz at the same time. Because it all links together. They're at 19-23. If they can't make up some gap between the teams, because on the threshold is the 23 teams. So they're 4 wins behind making the 10 for the play-in. So 23 for Utah, 23 for LA, 24 for Dallas, 25 for Sac, 26 for New Orleans and Phoenix. Like that is and one of these teams can fall, one of them can rise, but Houston's not playing to lose. So there we have, this is where we need to start looking towards these things, because I definitely think if Houston's not playing to tank and to lose, even though they've lost their last couple, like Shaq with some stats. Love this man. Barnes, we're talking Harry Barnes. Yeah. Harry Barnes blocked 7 shots all season. 2 of them came in his last game, and one of them was a game-winning block. Just a fun fact. No, it is a fun fact. Thank you so much, Shaq 2K.
Do you want an extra fun fact? Harrison Barnes actually blocked 3 shots in total last year.
Ooh, so he met his game average in one, which is fantastic for him. Okay. How's this? Harrison Barnes has never blocked a shot on his life deliberately. They've all been accidental, and he has been attributed the statistic. That's all we're going to say.
I know at one point he averaged the least amount of blocks, compared to minutes compared to blocks. He had like the least amount at one point during the season where he played, a shitload. And then like the next closest to him was like Jordan Clarkson or something like that. It was outrageous.
Yeah, we've got
carry on.
No, we're just going to say, we're just looking at this one as like back to the Pelicans Thunder game. Hugely fun. Oh, here we go, Shaq. There's like a must add if he's doubled his blocks since last year. Absolutely, Shackles. Absolutely, Shackles. His stock is on the rise. OKC and New Orleans again. Most fun game of the watch. The Thunder have won 4 straight. They look legit. Again, this for me is my favorite trade potential team in the NBA, because I reckon, look, they're not too far out contending in my mind. I love watching these teams.
They're fantastic.
They love watching it. No, and Matrix, you can shut up with your Memphis Grizzlies love speech in this chat. Thank you so much. No, he is not the new Tyus Jones. He is the new Scottie Pippen Jr., and he had a great game, and you could probably pick him up if they continue to suck balls. But no, look, there's not a lot of ads here. Trey Murphy is off the injury report for the OKC Thunder. It's really only Kayson Wallace or Isaiah Joe that we like to have any minutes, because they are rolling out their finals team. You can tell by the coaching in the minutes rotation now that they're just literally tightening it up. Kenrich Williams is the deepest man off the bench. Misic is getting some. But that man rotation there, that's firming up for me, with Josh Giddey being the starter with the least amount of minutes. They're starting to firm up. They're starting to really know what their strengths and weaknesses are as a team in the Thunder. And when that starts to happen, you can get less value out of those role players, because the minutes aren't there, with Kayson Wallace probably getting the most, with the stretchability of Isaiah Joe being it. The only guy getting more minutes who was off the injury report in this game is Trey Murphy, who has been really, really inconsistent, and Larry Nance Jr. as an extra. So those are the only looks that I'll be thinking at.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, mate. And this is one of those games where I always say, when we have this good of a game, it's a sit back and watch game. This is a no punt game, just because if you look at the stats wise, right, this is 2 absolutely amazing competing teams right now, where last time that they played, it was so based on defense that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't even score 25 points. That's how slow and careful these teams were playing against each other. I can't remember the last time Shai didn't score 25. He scored 20.
Huge.
And they went so far on the under as well. It was unbelievable. It's just an anomaly of the game, of the style that these two play. The Pelicans have been scoring at their ass as of late, and they've been absolutely smashing teams. Their offense can just go so hit, fire, miss. Like, that's why, again, I'm with you. I'm not touching this game with a punt. And also, too, I just don't think there's any pickups either, besides Isaiah Joe, if you want to go for threes. But these teams are just solid, locked as they are. Larry Nance, he's been, maybe if they keep reducing the minutes for Valanciunas. But other than that, yeah, mate, I'm right there with you.
And I can see that possibly being the case today. That's the only thing I can see is that I do see the potential right now for Larry Nance Jr. to be a nice little streaming option just because he's more switchable than Val. And in this more smaller lineup for the Thunder, which they do run this lineup really, really well. If you look at the lineup from them, Valanciunas could possibly eat over the top of Chet. Fair enough, he's big. But if they move the ball and they're a little bit slower with Zion in their lineup, he hasn't got that explosiveness that he has. Like Larry Nance Jr. is a really good offset because the strength of Zion alone matched up against Chet, I really like that. But I think Larry Nance Jr. has the ability to stretch the floor a little bit more than Val, obviously, still bring in the rebounding, still bring in the hustle. He's just become a really great bench guy for them. And I do think that he's a shout you can pick up for the day. That's just me personally.
I agree. And also too, just so I had to double check as well. This one's for you, Shaq. Harrison Barnes, blocks per game since he's been in
the NBA or alive
in the NBA.
Since he was a kid.
0.2, 0.3, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. Gets to Sacramento. 0.1, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.1, 0.2. So the best amount of blocks he's had for a season in his career. 1 year at the Warriors, he had 20.
Yep.
The best that he's gotten for Sacramento is 12.
Whew, sounds like a must-add.
He currently has 7 this year.
Sounds like I need him now in my life. Get him in my life.
He had a season. He had 2 blocks for the whole season, playing power forward. Started every game, playing 30 minutes. Unbelievable. All right. I agree with you there. What's our last game? It's Portland
Trailblazers and the San Antonio Spurs. And Victor Wembanyama is off the injury report for rest for the day, which means... So this is the thing. It's a back-to-back. He's not on the injury report for the first game of a back-to-back. Now, Pop said he may be able to play both games. He may be able to.
Yep. Sorry, I'm laughing at Shaq.
He's a good lad. We love our Shaq.
Yeah, buddy. We're going straight to that waiver wire, man. Harrison Barnes for blocks next game. Jeez, I'm punting him. But yes, carry on. Yes. Wemby.
No, look. So he's off this one. So he's off the Portland Trailblazers in the team of the Suckfest. I like to call this my Haley Steinfeld game because it's a suckfest. They both suck. It's a deep Haley cut. San Antonio Spurs, a massive 8 wins. The Portland Trailblazers, a massive 13 wins for the season. I think the Spurs can win this one, and they might want to win this one.
Okay.
Because look, there's not a lot to lose here for them, to be fair, and it doesn't really throw off where they're sitting right now as well. So the Spurs can throw everything that they've got. We've got Trey Jones is questionable for this one with his left ankle sprain. Blake Wesley is the starting guard for the Spurs. Look, we know that Zach and Keldon are coming off the bench for these blokes. Scoot Henderson trying to light it up and make his way to an all-rookie team. You know, there's the Duop Reith off the bench. Shaden Sharp out another week for these blokes, for the Trailblazers. They've got 2 more games this week, so he'll probably be out in week 15, returning fresh in week 16. Brogdon is questionable for this game. Jeremy Grant's been a great revelation for these blokes lately as well in Portland, but I think this is a game where the Spurs may just say, let's just try and win. And why not? For them?
I agree. And so Skiddy's going to come with a couple of factuals for you. Last time that the Spurs played the Blazers won 134 to 128. That was without Victor Wembanyama. The day before that, the Spurs played the Blazers. The Spurs won 118 to 105 with Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama had 30 points and 6 assists and 6 rebounds that game. Took the absolute piss. Both those games without DeAndre
Absolute
Ayton.
piss.
So on that alone, I'd look at it and I go, yeah, okay, Spurs, because with Wemby, they win. The last 3 out of the last 5 games, though, for the Portland Trailblazers. Blazers are 3-2 in those games. They have beaten the Houston Rockets. They lost to the Lakers and the Thunder, but then they also beat the Pacers and the Nets. So Brooklyn have been starting to get it together a little bit more, but this is
Brooklyn
where
looked good yesterday versus the Timberwolves. They started to figure it out a little bit yesterday.
They did, but this is where I get a little bit intrigued, Matty G. Over the last 2 weeks, the San Antonio Spurs are putting up 123 points while allowing their opposition to score 133. The Blazers are putting up 118 and allowing their opponents to score 125. So what does that tell me? Telling me
It
that
tells you it's tasty.
both teams' offense, and that is up. Both teams are up from their season averages as well. So I am smacking the over in this game, and I'm taking Wemby for a good amount. I just think this is going to be a
let's
fairly
go plus
high
20. Let's
game.
go. If we can get it for good value, let's pick our own line for like 22 points. Pick our own line on Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, let's pick our own line. 22 points for him. Let's throw that into it and then go him for 5 rebounds and 5. Let's go for 5 rebounds. Let's just go 5 rebounds. Let's not do the playmaking in case he gets fresh with it and wants to do it.
Don't really like rebounds just because he tends to not have as many points. Just because rebounds for Wemby, he uses his size, but when he's come up against like muscular or in this case with Ayton, fatter and players that don't want to play, then we got he just doesn't get as many rebounds. So I'll take points here for Wemby with you.
Let's go Wemby.
Wembanyama. God, he's good. But yeah, I don't like the head-to-head in this one, even though the Blazers are $2.38, which I do like. That is nice value there.
Ooh, I do like that. But no, let's just stick with him. And I think we're done. We've done all of our wrap-ups apart from the propaganda. I've just left it out here a lot because our boy Matty was really just on it for Harrison Barnes being the new go. And look, I do understand and respect his stance to a point. And then I think he's insane. And that's because he needs it. And that's because he needs a neck fan. Legitimately, can I just say this? I don't know if he's listening still, and I hope he is. Matty has a pod room, right, where he just works his butt off and does all the pods for Insight and goes absolutely nuts. Like, best bloke in the world. Matty's literally got so much cop for sweating up a feast. He literally sent us a photo in a chat yesterday of a neck fan. He would look like Lobot from Star Wars. You know, the guy like Lando Calrissian's? Yeah. He would legitimately look like a morphed one. So shout out to Matty. All this sweat that's raised up by whether or not he should add Scottie Pippen Jr. and Harrison Barnes at the same ad is really causing him some anxiety.
Mate, I didn't realize that he was such a big Harrison Barnes fan. Like, he never played for the Grizz. I was like, why is he sucking him off so much? But there you go. And
Harry is the truth. Harry is the truth. Don't deny it.
Cuz saying Skiddy with the Ayton body shaming. I'm with it. Laughing emoji. Look, mate, Cuz, like, I'm not here to body shame anyone. I got a dad bod myself, so I'm not here to make that. But mate, when you're that big, surely you can give a bit of fucking effort. Like, if anyone saw that video of him
without the drugs, without the Tristan Thompson stuff.
Did you see him when he was setting the screens like Kendrick Perkins, and he's sitting there and he's doing this, and then he's going through the motions, and he's like,
No, I don't like it. But if you could just stand up there and like that one more time, if you could just give us a good demonstration just again and just step back to the left and then just like that, yeah, and just turn around a little bit. We can't see it from like how a screen should be set. There's multiple angles. I just want to do that, clip it, and then put that on OnlyFans for people.
Yeah, I need donations and shit for that if I'm putting my fat ass out on the internet. All right, you settle down.
Do you take photos of that and then like unlock that content for like $5? Is that
that's for future references if everyone plays their cards right? They can get a bit of skitty cake if they're lucky.
And look, we need to wrap it up there because it's been a huge show. And by the way, if you're talking about for the future, if you're talking about safety, make sure you reach out to our good mate Ryan at Astute Newstead. Use promo code INSIGHT for all your residential home loan needs. We know Ryan, he's been a mate of ours for years. No, Skiddy, you're under your roof right now because of him.
Yes, sir, I am. And he has a great mustache. And as I always say, if you have a great mustache, then you can be 100% trusted with home loans. And Ryan fits both.
No one actually says that apart from those two guys, but we actually know that he does a legitimate job, to be fair.
He does.
Look, he's a good bloke. He's a good bloke. He's a good friend of ours. And the great thing about Ryan is he specializes in residential home loans with over 50 lenders. So you don't have to just get pigeonholed into a bank like one of the majors. He has no charge. He does not charge a fee like other brokers as well. So check out Astute Newstead. They offer personal, vehicle, and business loans. But if you're looking for that dream home, if you want to know what the best bank is, and if that dream home could even be affordable, make sure you check out Ryan at Astute Newstead and get onto that one. All the contents for him are below. You can also reach him at Ryan H at eganwealth.com. That's Ryan H at eganwealth.com. Use promo code INSIGHT. Hey, watching that Inside Pod, let him know we've sent you, or reach out to him on 0431 766 784. Reach out to us in chat any single time. Thank you so much, as always, for all the love. Like, this was, thank you. Thanks, Admiral. Thanks, Cuz. One of our most watched lives as well. How to most watched lives viewership wise. So we appreciate you, Shaq. Thank you so much as always.
Addy Carmoni, John Sakara. We love you. You're all legends.
Yeah, we love it. And thanks to Cuz. Cuz it's Arenda. You're new. Thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you haven't liked and subscribed before previously, make sure you do that. Make sure you like and subscribe. At NBA G Wiz is me. At Skiddy IFS is him. At Inside F Sports, it's the big thing up right about. If I do it this way, you'll see it. There it is. Hey, look at that. Yo,
Jay, just quickly, are we going to do the teaser? We're doing the teaser for next week. Are we leaving the boys with a little bit of?
We should give the goss.
Well, look, let's not give the whole goss, but let's just say we may have someone.
We do have a special guest.
High-profile special guest. We'll let you boys know that first and foremost because you stuck around to the end. So,
we'll tell him. We'll tell him because the usual lads are in chat still. How's this? If I can get 3 people, if 3 people in chat right now say tell us, I'll do it. If 3 people say who the special guest is going to be next week, and I will do it. I'll reveal who I've lined up to join us because we had Alex McLean last week, who was an absolute fantasy legend. Really good bloke.
We've had what's Kingy's first name?
King.
It's just Kingy.
Adam King. It's just Kingy. It's just Kingy. Right. He's like Madonna. Yeah. There's one. Kingy. There's Admiral.
We got another one. How do I?
Oh, there's 2. There's 3. All right.
Spill it.
Come on, tell us. Shaq is. There's 4. Okay. I said 3, Shaq. You were 4, so I'm not going to say shit now. I'm sorry. I overshot them up.
Give the boys what they want. Jay Wizzle, come on.
Give them what they want. Dan Titus from Yahoo. Woo! He's going to join us. He is like one of the best minds in fantasy basketball. Make sure if you were like Yahoo, watch his stuff on like the videos. Like sometimes when you watch those videos and people skip over them, Dan does great work there. He is one of the best analysts in fantasy basketball. Where I've got to know him. Like we talk a bit, like we chat on Messenger. He's a wonderful guy. He's always generous with his time. He loves what we're doing on Insight. And he's just said, he actually asked, like, when am I going to jump on next? And he's like, he's that good. And Skiddy, what was it before you said Dan? What was when I said I said about Alex? I didn't tell you about I didn't tell you that Alex McLean was the guest. But when I said, hey mate, I've got a guest coming up. What did you?
I was a little bit like, all right, I'm more than happy with, having guests on with this. And, McLean was fantastic. Kingy was fantastic. But, yeah, Titus, mate, you're bringing out the all-stars for these ones, McLean, Kingy, Titus now. Like, God damn, this is what G does. He wheels and deals. He makes them, he gives the meals for all the boys, presents it all to us. And now we've got a cracking show for next week. We're going to be ready and raring to go. We're going to have to. We are going to have to be on our best behavior, G Wizzle. I don't know about that.
No best behavior. No best behavior. But we must get down to work for the day and must get live to watch some NBA action.
Yes,
it's been a huge show. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And again, like and subscribe. We're going to do a competition really soon as well for if you give us a 5-star review and 5 stars on wherever you get your platform, your audio platforms on Spotify, on Apple, on podcasts, and on Apple, wherever you get your stuff from. Check it out. Make sure you like us, rate us 5 stars, and write a review. We're going to put your names into a thing, and there's going to be a big prize pack coming up real soon. Guys, thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Be blessed for your weekend. We out.
Appreciate you.